Please remain standing. My name is Santa Ono, and I am the President and Vice Chancellor of the University of British Columbia. Please join us in singing O Canada, led by our University Marshal, Nancy Hermiston, Director of the Opera and Voice Program at the UBC School of Music. Please remove your hats, graduates. Thank you very much. Please remain standing. Thank you, Professor Hermiston. We pause for a moment to give thanks, spiritual and temporal thanks, for the manifold blessings we share in this wonderful world, this great nation, this beautiful and blessed province, this magnificent university, and we respectfully acknowledge the Syilx Okanagan Nation and their peoples, in whose territory we are situated and gathered today. We give thanks to these proud students and to their friends and family on this most joyous occasion. Please be seated. Distinguished platform guests, members of the Okanagan Senate, faculty members, staff, alumni, and most especially our graduates, family and friends, welcome to the University of British Columbia. What an honor it is for me to be with you today to celebrate UBC's graduating class of 2017. Let's hear it for them. I have a lot of wonderful duties in my position, but I can tell you that this is the best part of my job, to participate in this joyous occasion, this milestone in your lives. This day is all about you and what you've achieved through your hard work, determination, moments of creative inspiration, and a little bit of perspiration. Graduation is a time to imagine your future and the world to come. And when you think of the road ahead, you gain perspective from looking back to your time here on this campus. You gain perspective as individuals as you look back to the frame of reference of the years prior. And we also hope that as you look into the future, as you imagine the next chapters of your lives, that your time at UBC will be a very solid anchor and reference point. And that you'll look back at your time here at UBC with fondness, and that when you look ahead, that UBC will be very much part of your future. The other message we want to give back to you, and this is particularly relevant because of something that's going to start very shortly here on this campus, is that you will feel welcome here all the time, and that we hope that you will come back regularly to see how this amazing campus changes into the future. We look to hearing from you about your personal and professional achievements, which will be many. And we look forward to seeing how you build upon the foundation of your education here. One of the great things that Deborah and I have the opportunity to do is to remain connected with alumni of this great institution. And there are now over 325,000 alumni around the world. And we travel actually beyond British Columbia. We travel to Hong Kong, to Shanghai, to Sydney, to New York, to Washington, to Ottawa, all over the world. And I can tell you that one of the most amazing things for me, the most inspirational things for me, is to see the impact that graduates are having in every sphere of human endeavor, from this nation's government to Fortune 500 companies, to performing groundbreaking experiments on the very basis of matter, and to devising new treatments for uncurable diseases today. What UBC graduates are doing is truly remarkable, and that is your future, and we look forward to seeing what you will do as you travel to new corners of the globe, as you enter into new adventures. We can't wait to see the impact that you will have all over the world. And as you begin this new stage in your life, this new chapter, this new experience, we hope that you know that we have absolute confidence that you will and that you can make a difference in this world, just as previous graduates have done. Not that long ago, there was a graduate from UBC called Justin, who would go on to become the Prime Minister of Canada, the current Prime Minister of Canada, joining two other UBC graduates who have held the highest office in this great nation. And to that you may add 7 Nobel laureates and justices of the Supreme Court of Canada, and as I said, CEOs of major multinational companies, as well as stars in opera, in classical music, in rock music, in theatrical performances, both in UK and in New York and in Toronto. So no matter what you think about, UBC graduates before you are really playing leadership roles, and you possess the exact same skills, knowledge, and passion and will to forge your own way to leadership positions in what you choose to do. In his address to the first graduating class at UBC, UBC's very first president, Frank Westbrook, encouraged students to do something very specific. And it was to work to make the world a better place in which to live. But he had another request of the graduates. It wasn't just to do your best, to make a career, to take care of your family, and to make the world a better place for yourselves. He challenged the graduates, as we do today, to work to make the world a better place, not only for those you love, but for individuals that might be very far away, individuals that you might never see directly. He challenged graduates to realize that they are very privileged. And it might be hard for you to really acknowledge that, being surrounded by your peers on this graduation day. But all you have to do is to read the newspaper, or turn on the news to see that there are millions of people much less fortunate than we. And with that privilege comes a responsibility to give back to those in need. The other thing I want to say very, very quickly is that a lot of people think about graduations about being about goodbye. For us, graduation is about au revoir, which, as you know, means until we meet again. And I can tell you that actually traveling around the globe, one of the great joys of my position is to meet alumni again and again and again. Just after this past graduation ceremony, the first one of this morning, I got to meet a number of different graduates and many families that have multiple generations of graduates of this institution. And so we're serious. This is not a goodbye. This is au revoir until we meet again. And the last thing we want you to remember is those two words that are very specific to this institution, that have a double entendre, two different meanings that are very relevant to you. as you imagine your future. First of all, it's tuum est, which means it's your university, it's yours. And we really believe that, it's your university. And it's our privilege as faculty members and administrators to take your university in trust and to uphold the values of this institution and to make it better for those who are coming after you. That's our responsibility. So it's yours. The other meaning of tuum est is it's up to you. And that's the one that we want to emphasize today, that you have this amazing gift of being a graduate of this great institution, but with it comes that responsibility that's up to you. And we'll talk a little bit more about that later on in the ceremony. But for now, congratulations, class of 2017, and our very best wishes to you.
Thank you, Mr. Vice Chancellor. I'm Deborah Buzzard, and I have the pleasure and privilege of serving as Deputy Vice Chancellor and the Principal of this Okanagan campus of the University of British Columbia. And before I begin my remarks, I would just like to recognize Councillor Gail Given from the City of Kelowna, and he's also our Chair of the Regional District. She's a very busy woman fighting the floods right now, but she's taken the time to come out and represent the city here, so thank you for being here. To the class of 2017, congratulations. Your graduation day is a tremendous achievement, signaling years of hard work, persistence, and your ability to embrace and take in new information and ideas. These are aptitudes that you take with you across the stage, in addition to your disciplinary degree. But a UBC degree doesn't just demonstrate these aptitudes or qualify you for a job. More importantly, it prepares you to live a thoughtful life, one of perception, insight, and rationality. The ability to distinguish between news and fake news. It provides you with the intellectual tools you need to flourish wherever you may go from here. As I look at this year's graduating class, I'm struck by your collective power as a force for change in the world. Over the relatively short time that you've been on campus, you've proven yourself to be significant change agents, both here at UBC Okanagan and in the wider community, and you may not even realize that yet. Let me give you a few examples. From our UBCO Muslim Students Association, who took time out to go fill sandbags to help protect the city of Kelowna during this current flooding episode. To the students who left residence this year, who teamed up with the Salvation Army to collect more than 5,000 pounds of donatable equipment and cutlery and things that they'd had in residence that could be used by others in the community. There are countless examples of this class stepping up to make a difference, large or small, on and off campus. But there are two things where you came together for a much greater good that will have incredible impact, and that has struck me the most. The first is your support for refugees. Last year, students on this campus voted overwhelmingly to tax themselves to provide a fund to extend financial support for people in refugee camps around the world to have an opportunity to come to UBC Okanagan. Seeing the crises in places like Syria, Sudan, and Nigeria, and imagining the opportunity that UBC Okanagan could offer, you can only imagine the impact that your generosity will have in enabling young people growing up in refugee camps to come to this place and to continue their education here. I had the opportunity to read the scholarship applications this first year for that program. Extraordinary stories of human resilience. I only wish we could have accepted them all. But I look forward to welcome the first students here next year, thanks to your contribution. The second thing that you have done that will have an incredible lasting impact on this campus is that recognizing, and you all do this, you know this, the shortage of quiet study space on campus. 3 years ago, you collectively agreed to contribute a levy, a small amount that you may see on your fee statement, which says that you're contributing to the Teaching and Learning Center Fund on this campus. Between you, you have contributed to what will become a $10 million contribution to build the new Teaching and Learning Center, the extension to our library. You can see that actually taking shape right now. It's a big building site, a hole in the middle of the campus. But you have made that happen. And you did that knowing that none of you here today would ever have the opportunity to benefit from it. You'd not benefit from the quiet study space, the beautiful new classroom, the learning facilities that will be in there. You gave forward to future generations on this campus. I am so proud of that contribution, which is enabling us to start building that building right now. It is a remarkable gift for the future of this campus. So you truly are an incredible force for positive change, and you leave a very special legacy. And I thank you for those two great gifts that we will be enjoying next year. Echoing the words of the, thanks. It's amazing what we can do together, right? Echoing the words of our president, graduation here doesn't mean goodbye. We hope that you will continue to be involved in the life of the campus. Next year, we'll celebrate another first here at UBC Okanagan. For the very first time, we'll host a homecoming for alumni. And you will be able to be in that first class of the UBC Okanagan homecoming, and you'll be able to visit that extraordinary library and see how much this next generation of students are enjoying what you contributed to. As you leave, your life will change by plan, by surprise, sometimes by accident. Be confident in your capacity not only to cope with change, but to be a force for positive change around you in this ever-changing world where nothing stays the same. Coping, indeed thriving in a world that's ever-changing is precisely what your time here has prepared you for. And I have no doubt that your education and experiences have positioned each of you for the brightest of futures. Truly great universities are created and defined by their graduates. It's the impact that you will have that will define how we are known as a great institution. I look out at you, our newest UBC Okanagan alumni, and I know that we will have much to be proud of as you make your way in the world. Indeed, we're already incredibly proud of you. On behalf of the University of British Columbia and the entire Okanagan campus, congratulations. We all wish you every success. Well done, class of 2017. I'm now pleased to call upon Sarah Nunes, a member of the graduating class, to make remarks on behalf of the class.
Thank you, Deputy Vice Chancellor. They intentionally put me after the two best speakers. President, honored guests, and fellow graduates, welcome. Here we are, enthusiastic graduates who have not only completed one phase of our lives, but are already taking the leap into another. Today marks that transition. For today, we graduate. I would first like to thank all our professors for not only teaching and inspiring us during our years at UBCO, but for also being here on our present day. Second, Second, I want to thank all our guests who have come from far and near to spend the day with us. We are all so grateful and blessed to have each and every one of you in our lives. My fellow graduates, my friends, we have all accomplished so much during our time at UBCO. Some of us were members of the Student Union and Senate. Others were heat athletes, board directors of clubs, some even founders of clubs. And all of us were active participants in the creation of the community we have here. At this time, I would like to share with you my experiences at UBCO. My hope is that I will touch on some things that you, my fellow graduates, may have experienced here as well. University. What's it like to be a university student? Some think that we spend every waking hour memorizing facts and data like we're machines running on power. Others think that we're ever busy with some group collaboration, whereas a group where everyone actually pulls their weight is an aberration. But university is more than just that. Do you remember those all-nighters we pulled finishing our assignments? Do you remember being so sleep-deprived that caffeine became a requirement? Do you remember the days you had to remain at home to study while everyone else was able to go out, have fun, and even make money? I do. Which is why I say today is not just in celebration of our academic achievement. Today is in celebration of our resilience, discipline, and devotion, how we persevered through and became one with our emotion. Today is in celebration of the brother and sisterly bonds we have formed with one another, because now your roommate understands you like no other. Today I call you brother, not because of blood, but because you were the one who stayed up till morning with me finishing assignments. Today I call you sister, not because of blood, but because you were the one who helped me up when I was broken in fragments. Class of 2017. The road ahead will be filled with more challenges, I can assure you of that. Not only will we be looking for jobs, but we'll be still figuring ourselves out, in fact. But when you face these challenges, I want you to remember that you leave these halls today knowing that you are stronger. Not just because of what you've been through, but because of the strength that was always deep inside of you. We leave these halls today knowing that we are survivors. We leave these halls today knowing that we are achievers. We leave these halls knowing that after today we can be change makers. And no matter what challenges may come, know that I believe in you, each and every one. Thank you. On behalf of Alumni UBC, I am also honored to welcome you into the alumni family. You now belong to a community of change makers and leaders that is more than 325,000 strong. Graduates like you who are looking to make a positive difference in the world. Visit the alumni welcome tent after the ceremony to see what it means to be a new member of the alumni family. Once again, class of 2017, congratulations, and until we meet again.
Thank you, Sarah. It's now my pleasure to introduce Cynthia Matheson, Provost and Vice Principal of the Okanagan Campus, to introduce the Award for Teaching Excellence and Innovation. Professor Matheson.
Thank you. Good morning, everyone. It is my pleasure to introduce the Award for Teaching Excellence and Innovation. This award, including a $3,000 prize, recognizes outstanding teachers at the Okanagan campus, as nominated by students, faculty, colleagues, and alumni. The award highlights the importance of teaching in creating an outstanding student experience. At this time, I would like to announce that we have the two recipients of the Award for Teaching Excellence and Innovation at this convocation. Our first recipient today is Dr. Raymond Lawrence. Would Dr. Lawrence please join me at the podium? Dr. Raymond Lawrence is an associate professor of computer science in the Irving Barber School of Arts and Sciences. Highly commended for his dedication to the scholarship of teaching at the professorial rank, Dr. Lawrence is a nurturer of students whose commitment to teaching is evident in every course, every class, and every student's experience. And his students reflect this. His excellence in teaching practices has been recognized by student teaching evaluation scores well beyond the norm. Dr. Lawrence has been among the top 10% of faculty named to the UBC Okanagan Teaching Honor Roll in 8 of the past 9 years. Students value the knowledge gained from Dr. Lawrence's classes, benefiting from his experience outside of academia and the computer science industry. They are inspired by his enthusiasm and approachability and drawn to his lectures by direct relevance to their studies and future careers. A recipient of the 2015 I Am Accessible Award from the Disabilities Resource Center, Dr. Lawrence's approach to teaching recognizes that students have diverse learning needs. He is an innovator in developing cross-disciplinary teaching tools, such as the automated testing and learning system he developed in 2010 for the physics department, improving pedagogical efficiency and effectiveness. Since coming to UBC in 2006, he has supervised 21 honors theses, 18 directed studies, 7 master's theses, and a PhD student. Several of his undergraduate students have won awards for presenting their work, and his current PhD student is a college professor at Okanagan College. One student proclaimed that Dr. Lawrence is a database mastermind. I love that. Sounds like a spy, doesn't it? And likened him to Barcelona Football Club's legendary forward Lionel Messi, saying Dr. Lawrence is as good at teaching as Lionel Messi is as good at soccer. That is the largest compliment I could give him. Debates about soccer can take place afterwards under the tent. Another commented about Dr. Lawrence, I would recommend his class to any students aspiring to become teachers, because this is how it should be done. High praise for a remarkable teacher. Congratulations to Dr. Raymond Lawrence. More good news. I am pleased to announce that our second recipient of the Award for Teaching Excellence and Innovation is Dr. Christine Schreier. Would Dr. Schreier please join me at the podium? An associate professor anthropology, Dr. Christine Schreier is an innovator in developing socially relevant and community-engaged courses, single-handedly creating a popular and compelling degree pathway in linguistic anthropology for the anthropology program. She is known as a mentor to her students and a highly respected and well-loved teacher who brings together innovative pedagogical techniques with social engagement. This was evident in her endangered languages class, in which students partnered with a small group of elders from the Splatson First Nation, developing learning tools to assist the elders in sustaining their endangered languages. Dr. Schreier's teaching exemplifies the bringing together of students, community, and the wider world in ways that are entertaining and that push the boundaries of student experience. She takes extraordinary steps to ensure the next generation of scholars receive the best education possible, offering them respect, an open door, and inspiring coursework that goes far beyond the classroom. For example, over the last 3 years, she has supervised or co-supervised no less than 4 undergraduate research award recipients, each engaged in highly significant, even transformative work, such as studying the Kala language in Papua New Guinea to help develop a Kala dictionary for the community. One of her former students wrote, "Having Dr. Schreier as a professor was a turning point for me. She brought to light what an anthropologist's role was in mitigating the devastating effects of language loss and inspired my entire career as a conservationist in biology and anthropology." An inspiring mentor, teaching with energy, laughter, and real-world experiences. These are hallmarks of Christine Schreier's dedication to teaching excellence. Please join me in congratulating Dr. Schreier.
graduation. Thank you, Professor Matheson, and congratulations to Professor Schreier and Lawrence, inspirational teachers on this campus. We are so blessed. Thank you. This is a big moment. Will the candidates for degrees please rise? Mr. Vice-Chancellor, I have the pleasure of presenting the candidates for degrees who have successfully completed their studies and fulfilled the conditions that the university has set for them. The Okanagan Senate of this university recommends them to you for the degrees that will be announced by a representative of the faculties. As each degree is officially conferred, the Dean of the Faculty, and in the case of graduate students, the Dean of the College of Graduate Studies, will congratulate the student. Tim Krupa and Dustin Balcom, members of the alumni community, will welcome each student into the Alumni Association and present them with an alumni handbook. The candidates will please be seated. Thank you.
Mr. Chancellor, I have the pleasure of presenting to you the candidates for the degree of Doctor of Philosophy. Dr. Cochrane analyzed food security in rural Ethiopia. Dr. Cochrane analyzed food security in rural Ethiopia and the programs and services designed to support smallholder farmers. His research identifies how programs and services can be made more effective and how research can better incorporate the lived experiences and priorities of farmers. Dr. Cochrane. Dr. Donoso. Dr. Donoso studied the web of power relations that have led to women's insecurity in Ecuador's border provinces. Her research will enhance government's ability to improve security planning related to the security of women in border zones. Dr. Donoso. Catherine Kyle. Dr. Kyle brought together geospatial technology and quantitative analysis to study the historic Chinese and Japanese market gardening communities that once existed in the North and Central Okanagan Valley. Her research pushes the boundaries of mapping technology to understand the experiences of this population and to shed light on the decline of the market gardening industry in the mid-20th century. Dr. Kyle. Jennifer Leeson. Dr. Leeson examined the complex context of Indigenous women's maternal-child health through quantitative, qualitative, and Indigenous methodologies. Her research contributes to addressing and alleviating maternal-child health disparities and inequities. Dr. Leeson. Gabrielle Legault. Dr. Legault examined contemporary understanding of Métis identity in British Columbia. Employing an Indigenous research methodology, her research involved interviewing Métis community members to demonstrate the diversity of their experiences identifying as Métis in BC. Dr. Legault's research illuminates the difference between the rigid forms of identification that are constructed and expected by decision makers and the fluid realities of Métis identities. Dr. Legault. It's a long one. Judith Van Rogen. Dr. Van Rogen's study of Pueblo archaeology identifies sampling failures using ecological species area curves. Missing data includes plants traditionally used for medicine and linked to identity, clan, and ceremony. These previously unrecognized archaeological connections demand evidentiary status as proof of traditional Indigenous practice through time. Dr. Van Rogens. Paul David Lee. Dr. Lee developed methods to find and construct infinite families of 3 different types of mathematical expressions that have unique and powerful properties associated with them. Dr. Lee's method will have practical and useful application in algebraic number theory. Dr. Lee. Wala Mursi. Dr. Mursi developed a novel analysis to study the behavior of some optimization methods in the absence of optimal solutions. Her research advances the understanding of this behavior in the more difficult and consistent case, a situation that has application in physics and medicine, but is much harder to analyze. Her research findings are not only useful to mathematicians, but also to engineers, physicists, economists, statisticians, and computer scientists. Dr. Mursi. Mr. Vice Chancellor, I have the pleasure of presenting to you the candidates for the degree of Masters of Arts. Come in. Blake Allen. Marina Prado Noguera. Tasnuva Haak. Devan Ferdous Vaid. Krista Sheila Hukuta Boudreau. Hopes Bachelor of Arts. Mr. Vice Chancellor, I have the pleasure of presenting to you the candidates for the degree of Bachelor of Arts. Jocelyn Harris. Josephine Ann Jones. Asia Jung Lee. Takuya Yahama. Thank you. Danielle Olivia Botemakai. Okay. Jessica Lynn Ray. Shannon Elizabeth Schmidt. Carrie Lee Barge. Celeste Ego. Ricky Maria Fraser. Brett Alexander Furlot. Danielle Ashley Pechet. Alison Staten. Amara Jacinthe Thibodeau. Nicholas Van Tol. Lorraine Louise Buck. Benjamin James Moody. Rebecca Louise Wiley. Rebecca Marcellus. Wanja Gonzalez. Rebecca Ambling. Canto Sarah. Matthew Stanley Fritter. Ashley August Sigurd. Omar Altura. Ishita Ashraf. Jonathan Everett Dempsey. Joshua Alexander Evans. Anil Guo. Edith Yu Wu Kwa. Shorzan Pakravan. Thomas Mark Palmer. Pudu Marisa Padrewi. Jason Ron. Maria Robles. Kushal Saeed. Keith Stone. Sina Vajed. Wei Chang Wang. Matthew Stephen Weary. Adiva C. Ki Wong. Lingbo Zhao. Kusin Ju. Wan Zhuo. Mandy Wan. Alexander Joseph Sibri. Alex Slade. Sean Varib. Mabel Chung. Sarah Jackknife. Sydney Burkett. Ashley Bricker. Kelsey Brody. Carmen Lee Delunsky. Nelson Graham. Remy Keslar. Jaden Coop. Alisa Reddy. Rachel Strinatka. Wayne K. Yu. Sarah Marie Marichuk. Camila Enns. Hannah Linnea Wilkinson. Robin Colbo. Caitlin Given. Louis Anderson. Michael Johnson Bull. Taylor Alexander Gibson. Bailey Unt. Connor Podmore. Sabrina Shaw. Haley Simmons. Courtney Turnenew. Rio Shishido. Megan Dumurkey. Gerald Daniel Duncan. Mitchell Robert Fowler. Thank you. Kelsey Leora Hess. Alicia Satham. Christine Moilaison. Eric Daring. Stephanie Grieksack. Sierra Croco. Christine Elizabeth Wolf. Malmi Gunawardena. Marie Magdalene Song. Olivia Katuntas. Amber Krogel. Tessa Martin. Zoe McNair. Erin Nevison. Thank you. Holy Jessica Francis Red Church. Natalie Wong. Madison Brooke Tardif. Daria Shrivrikavsova. Thank you. Jamie Amarat Sandhu. Rieko Mochizuki. Lucia Vajova.
Mr. Chancellor, I have the pleasure of presenting to you the candidate's degree for the Bachelor of Science. Anthony Koulos. Shanika Nuwan Rajapakse. Bronson Raoul Bouchard. Omer Haved Chima. Richard Joseph Greaves. Liam Alexander Leopard. Kelsey Mays. Gurpreet Ninjar. Jan Reinhardt Romero. David Alvin James. Ashan Kevin Shimashinge. Barrett Sharp. Amritpal Shokar. Ping Sung. Ilyana Wardle. Wade Harvey Penson. Stefan Chang Yom Wing. Charlotte Bergman. Jeffrey Soloshi. Brooke Mitchell. Ashley Wong. Jorge Garcia. Sean Aldridge. Nene Azu. Taylor Corbin. Roche Nicola Gum. Leilani Kent. Ronald Ka Chung Lee. Fabienne Joseph Mara. Carter Davis Merwin. Yu Shuang Peter Pan. Farad Panahov. Marcus Mac Drury. Ming Che Chow. Yu Rao. Kimberly Wilcott. Charles Jolin Landry. Neil Parmar. Abhishek Sharma. Shi Mang Wang. Andrew Young. Zachariah Petch. Brett Shad. Alexander Kelly. Tyler John Saris. Alexandria Niernan. Erin Nicole Johnson Peterson. Lap Chong Lo. Waverly Rage. Tyler Carson. Brogan Marader Erland. Marley Alina Munse. Rudy Guo. Yip Yao Tang. Rami Nguyen Ali Deb. Hadid. Sorry. Brett Klein. Mr. Vice Chancellor, I have the pleasure of presenting to you the University of British Columbia Medal in Science Head of Graduating Class, Matthew Basso. Jeffrey Krupa. Cassidy Northway. Siu Lung Tang. Boy Chen. Stephen Collins. Joshua Dellinger. Oops, card. Thank you. Stephanie Galata. Andrew Lepke. Sean Santano. Davis Turkington. Alex Brendan DeBee. Shannon Beth Campbell. Noah Hacker. Kara Alexander.
For those graduates who have just crossed the stage today, and for all of those who were unable to attend today's ceremony, with respect to the appropriate degrees as shown on the program, it gives me great pleasure to hereby admit you officially to the Convocation of UBC. Let's hear it for them one more time. It's been my great pleasure to meet and congratulate each and every member of today's graduating class one at a time. You've each invested a great deal of determination, focus, and hard work in obtaining your degree. And now, as you graduate, you know where your parents, your grandparents, your siblings, your loved ones are. Why don't you turn to them and give them a round of applause? And now, although we've done this once before, they deserve extra special recognition. They are the individuals that were with you from day one, who actually spent extra time with you during office hours, who spent a lot of time making sure that you understand certain difficult concepts. They're the ones who wrote you letters of recommendation for graduate school or for jobs. You know who I'm talking about. Let's hear it for the faculty of UBCO. Thank you very much. You all know that the faculty of the university lie at the heart of this institution and all great universities, to be frank. In addition to working with you, they are the ones that create new knowledge. They are the ones who inspire you and inspire us as administrators. Now, I just want to make a couple of remarks to you before we move on with the ceremony. Many of you are graduates in the Faculty of Arts, and I want to say a couple of things at this time that I think are incredibly important for individuals that are trained broadly in the arts. There's a lot of focus this day and age on science, technology, engineering, and mathematics. There's a lot of focus on innovation, and those are important fields and subjects, no doubt. A lot of the focus has to do with the economy, with the economy moving towards a knowledge economy, much of it focused on things such as computer science and buzzwords such as artificial intelligence and machine learning, and all that is incredibly important. But those of you who are graduates of the arts, thinking about things very, very important to a just society, I want to spend a moment and say something about why you are especially important in this day and age. And to encourage you to be active participants in government and to challenge educational institutions and governments and institutions with what you have learned here at UBC. One of the things I'd like to say is you are among the most creative individuals in society. You have been trained to be critical thinkers. And we need that in this day and age. We need you to remain creative, to remain original, to innovate, and to question, and yes, to ask the difficult questions. You have learned in your studies not only how to work on your own and to master subjects, you have learned how to collaborate. And team-based activities is more important now than ever before. And those of you who are engaged in the pure arts and humanities, don't forget that your work feeds the soul, eliminates the shades of emotions that are evident in humanity. Your work anchors life to ideals and higher purposes. In this day and age, especially perhaps today, we recognize that there are powerful forces with respect to geopolitical changes. But the kinds of questions you ask about what is a just society, what is a democracy, how should governance occur, how should we interact with nations far away, all of that is incredibly important. Equally so, we need to work on truth and reconciliation. We need to work on how we interact with our First Nations communities. And what you've learned in the arts will really be the foundation to true progress and true reconciliation in Canada. We need you more than ever before. For those of you who have been historians or storytellers engaged in film, theater, and creative writing, never forget that we must learn from history. And we can avoid making mistakes from the past if we pay attention to history. We need to understand cultural context in all decisions that we make as leaders, and especially in government. History is just as important as science, technology, engineering, and mathematics. And whether you write, or whether you create films, or you're involved in plays and theaters, storytelling is essential to everything that we do, because it is the cement that binds together members of humanity. storytelling. It seems like it's just a basic thing that you learn in those circles in kindergarten. And we lose that art, too many of us as we age. Storytelling is what binds communities together. So much misunderstanding in the world stems from misunderstanding. Through effective storytelling, we can understand each other better and achieve the elusive quest for world peace and peace nearer to home. So your work is incredibly important. And for those of you who will enter journalistic fields and television, the truth has to be the foundation of our society. And although there are winds of change as to what constitutes adequate journalism, we as a society rely upon you to ensure that integrity lies at the core of everything that you do. The last thing I want to say to you as a group at this milestone in your life is to, although you're very young and you have maybe 100 years ahead of you as lifespan is getting longer and longer. You know, when I was born, lifespan was 50-something years, which means I'm almost done. But you guys, with the advances of technology and medicine, as you know, lifespan is in places like British Columbia well into the 80s or 90s. So I'm serious, you might be living to 120, who knows? And I hope you have a long and fruitful life. But I want you to do something and humor me, because hopefully it'll mean something to you. And that's this. As you ponder your next steps, the decisions, small and large, that you will make into the future, and you will have difficult decisions, as your class speaker said. They will be difficult at times. They will test your mettle as a human being and citizen. Believe me, just turn on the news and watch the difficult questions that our leaders have to answer and wrestle with. And it's on that moment, those moments, that your education in the arts and the humanities will be especially important. So here's the thing that I want you to do. Humor me and fast forward to the end of your life, 100 years from now. And ask yourself the very basic question that my classmate at the University of Chicago asked in his book, and that individual is David Brooks, a best-selling author and columnist in the New York Times. And he asked this question in his book, that we should all ask ourselves, what will people say about us at our eulogy? And here's why he asked that question. You see, at that point, at your eulogy, it's not going to matter whether you had a 3.7 or a 4.0 on your GPA. Believe me, everybody forgets, and thank goodness they've forgotten my GPA at university. And no one's going to remember how long and impressive your LinkedIn resume is, or which schools you got your degrees from, although that is important, and we're proud of that. It's not essential to what goes into a eulogy. You see, I like to actually read eulogies. I actually like to read obituaries. Because when you do that, it's not that hard to determine the value of a human life. It's a miracle, really. And each and every one of you is a miracle. And the moms and dads there, I'm a dad, not a mom. All of you know the miracle that's in front of you, right? We all change their diapers. And isn't it amazing what they've become? Aren't you brimming with pride? And you should be. But here's the thing. When you read those obituaries and you read eulogies, certain people stand out. I mentioned at the last ceremony somebody that you may remember. He was a president of UBC that left the campus in the 70s. But people talk about him more than almost anybody else, with the exception of maybe Westbrook. And that person was a mathematician. He's not known for winning the Fields Prize. He's not known for being a Fellow of the Royal Society of London. He's known for something different. You see, he's not known for what he did, and he did all kinds of amazing things, and people tell me about them all the time. He's known for how he made people feel. And let me give you some examples. Actually, in the time between the first ceremony and this ceremony, a couple came up to me in tears about how President Westbrook made them feel. And this is the way the story goes. One of the man, who was probably a boy, young adult at the time, had got into a terrible accident. And he came from a family with very little money. And he was in the hospital. And his girlfriend, now his wife, called up President Gage and said, "We're at wit's end, you know. We have to pay for groceries and we have to pay for tuition, and my boyfriend, I just don't know how he's going to make ends meet." And she said, "He actually spoke to me out of the thousands of students, and he actually had me come up and he said, 'Don't worry, we'll take care of you.'" And when they opened up their bill, everything had been taken care of. All their worries had disappeared. And so the secret to that, and some of us know this, not all of you know, is that the assumption is that that was UBC that was being empathetic and magnanimous. It wasn't UBC. It was President Gage. In talking to lots of people that knew him and hearing dozens of stories, it was actually President Gage taking money out of his pocket to help students in need. He made people remember, and they'll never forget how they made him feel. So that's the question that you have to ask yourself. That's the second part of the double entendre of Tuum Est. It's up to you. And the question is very simple. Will your eulogy be about how you used your success, like President Gage or Bill and Melinda Gates, the richest people on this planet, who are giving almost everything away to try to defeat and eradicate human diseases that exist today? Will that be your eulogy? Or will it be about how you became rich at the expense of others, perhaps cutting corners for personal gain and putting the lives of others in harm's way? It's up to you. Tuum Est. So as you move through your life, I want to ask you to remember more than what you learned in class. That's incredibly important. That's what I refer to as the education of the mind. I ask you to do something more profound that I think will be the difference between what your eulogy might say and what we hope it will say. And that is to remember your education of the heart. And that's obtained from those special character-defining attributes that you've seen in your faculty, that you've learned in stories of people that are not even on this planet today, like President Gage, that you see in front of you, for example, in the magnanimous behavior of Bill Gates, or in seeing what each other has done, helping each other out before an exam, even though you're going to be taking the same exam, and helping them out might actually change the curve against your advantage. Or how about those of you that helped each other out before a job interview, knowing that you were going to be interviewing for the same job? All of that, I say to you, is the education of the heart. It's my last sentence to you is this. Remember this. Knowledge is in the head. Wisdom is in the heart. Always follow your heart. too amassed. It's up to you. Thank you.
Thank you, Mr. Vice Chancellor. The Governor General's Academic Medal was first awarded in 1873 by the Earl of Dufferin and has since become one of the most prestigious awards that a student in a Canadian educational institution may receive. Today, we will present the Governor General's Gold Medal to the student whose academic record, in the opinion of the College of Graduate Studies, is the best in the graduating class for a doctoral or master's degree. This year, the gold medal goes to Wala Morsi. Would Dr. Morsi please come forward? As one of the highest performing students ever in the mathematics graduate program, Dr. Morsi has distinguished herself as a mathematician and doctoral candidate at UBC's Okanagan campus. Her research is primarily focused on building an understanding of one of the most powerful algorithms in the field of optimization, the Douglas-Ratchford splitting algorithm, widely used in applications such as medical imaging and data analysis. Dr. Morsi has tremendous research abilities, and her productivity is remarkable. She has already co-authored 12 published papers, most of them appearing in the top journals in the field of optimization. In recognition of her outstanding research work, she was chosen as the Mathematics Graduate Student of the Year in 2015. A prolific and talented scholar, Dr. Morsi completed her PhD comprehensive exams 6 months ahead of schedule, and she has earned funding to continue her studies at the postdoctoral level as the next step on what I know is a very promising academic career. Today, in recognition of her outstanding work as a graduate student, the Governor General's Gold Medal is awarded to Dr. Morsi. Congratulations.
Well, this has been amazing, hasn't it? Isn't that inspirational? Let's hear it for her again. I'd like to ask 2 people to join me because we need to be rather enthusiastic. We need to be pumped up about what you've just accomplished. I'd like to have Shira Sneg and Jeff Krupa to please join me up here. We'll be there almost. Let's hear it for Jeff. By the way, I don't know if you know, Jeff is going to this school, pretty good school called the Massachusetts Institute of Technology, or MIT. Let's hear it for him. All right, you can start it off. Here we go.
So I think we all know this. Let's go back to create. UBC what?
UBCO. Pretty good.
But
Good
we'll
job,
go
sir.
again. You're so good at this already. UBC what?
UBCO.
UBC what?
UBCO.
I said UBC what?
UBCO.
That was just a little bit of a warm-up. I like to have fun. Do you like to have fun? Okay, here we go. So we're going to have different groups here. Everybody on the ground floor on this side is group 1. What group are you? You can do better than that. What group are you? All right, everybody on the floor on this side of the mic, not up there, is group 2. What group are you? Very good. Everybody on the bleachers, you're group 3. What group are you? Very good. Everybody behind me is group 4. What group are you? 4. All right, let's hear it for Dennis, the conductor. Let's hear it for Dennis. Dennis, you have an outstanding orchestra. Let's hear it for the orchestra. Please stand. All right, to get a little bit pumped up here, do you have percussion with you? Do you? Let's hear it for the percussion. Very good. All right, are you ready? Now, we have as our University Marshal, Nancy Hermiston, who sang "O Canada," one of the great opera singers of Canada, who has created one of the great voice programs at UBC. Let's hear it for Nancy. She's going to help me out with this. Group 1, Nancy is going to lead you in singing the letter U after the band plays that note. What would you give that group? B, C, B.
B plus.
When you do it for real, you're going to do it better, right? All right. The second group is going to sing to this note the letter B. That's pretty good.
They're very good.
Group 3, the parents and the grandparents and the brothers and sisters, you can do better, right? We'll sing the letter C to this note.
C.
And the last group, the platform party, distinguished guests and faculty will sing the letter O to this note. Okay, so what's going to happen is that the conductor and I are joined at the hip. We'll point to group 1. You'll sing the letter U to that note in perfect pitch. And then the group 2, well, you'll keep singing that. Then you'll sing B to your note, C to your note, all continuing to sing your note. And then at the end, when they sing O, we will have a beautiful chord. And then we'll erupt into applause. Can you do that? Okay.
U, B, C,
Did you have fun? We're not done yet. We're almost done, I promise you. Because if we don't finish, I'm in big trouble. Are you ready? I want to actually give a shout out to somebody who has been to 27 graduation ceremonies. Not in a single year like I have to do, but 27 different years. And he deserves a shout out. Anybody that's that dedicated to this institution, who has really changed how we actually teach at the university, deserves a special round of applause. He was also the star quarterback for, I think, the 1959 football team. And let's hear it for Stanley Knight. Stanley Knight. And I hear that he still has an arm. Now, here's the thing. What's going to happen is that he's going to show his bullet arm. I'm going to go deep, and then I'm going to throw it to you, okay? And the person who actually catches it should take the football back to that little, where you can rent, footballs and stuff over there. You know what I'm talking about, right? Go to that little space over there and turn it in. Leave your name and contact information. and you will win a special prize from me, okay? And it'll be nice, I promise you. All right? Now, but you have to, I have to catch the football, and then you have to catch the football, and you bring the football back to that desk and leave your contact information. Can you do that? Okay?
Are you going for it? Go, 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 go!
Now look, you didn't see that. Erase that from your memory.
No, wait, back here. Back here, coach. Look. Hey, touchdown, oh no! Woo!
Was that exciting or what? Will the winner please stand up so we can hear it for him and for Mr. Knight? Ladies and gentlemen, this brings our ceremony to a close. I hope that you've enjoyed it as much as I have and have erased my fumbling of the ball from your memories. And I hope that you will enjoy all of us for refreshments, which will be served immediately after the ceremony in the courtyard at the alumni tent. This year marks the 100th anniversary of Alumni UBC. Join us to celebrate 100 years and collect your new Alumni UBC A card. Guests are kindly requested to remain in your places until the academic processions, the platform party, and the students have left the building. Let's stand and give the graduates, who can also stand, one last round of applause, the 2017 class of UBC.